Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will be starting with the 7 key features of federalism. So let's start. First, which is a very important key feature of federalism, is that there are 2 or more levels of government. In a federal government, in a federal country, there should be 2 or more levels of government or 1 or more level of government for the proper functioning of the body and for the proper concentration of power in each and every hand. Different tiers of the government govern the same citizens, but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, taxation, and administration. Different tiers of government, different organs of government, different levels of government govern the same citizens. Citizens are same. We come under central government also, we come under state government also, we come under local government also. But each tier, each level has its own jurisdiction, has its own area over which it rules in specific matters of legislation, taxation, and administration. The jurisdictions of the respective levels or tiers of government are specified in the constitution, so the existence and authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. Now, the each tier of the government rule is specified in the constitution. It is specified in the constitution the how much area it will rule. So the existence and authority of each tier of the government is constitutionally guaranteed, and it should not be taken away. It can't be taken away by any tier of the government. The fundamental provisions of the constitution, the fundamental laws, cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of the government. Such changes require the consent of both the levels of the government. Now what happened? The fundamental laws, the fundamental provisions which are mentioned in the soul, which are mentioned in our constitution, which is also the heart and soul of Indian constitution, cannot be unilaterally changed, cannot be changed by any one level of government. Such changes require the consent of the other levels of government too. Courts have the power to interpret the constitution and the powers of different levels of the government. The highest court acts as an umpire if disputes arise between different levels of government in the exercise of their respective powers. Now, courts is the highest judicial authority, and the Supreme Court is the highest judicial authority, and it has the power to interpret the constitution, to suggest changes to the constitution and the powers of different levels of government. It can interpret between the disputes. It can interpret between the disputes between different levels of government. The highest court acts as an umpire, which is the which is the highest court of India? Supreme Court. If disputes arise between different levels of government in the exercise of their respective powers, courts सुलझाते हैं problem. Sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified to ensure its financial autonomy. Now, the sources of revenue, the money that is required for the functioning of the each level of government, is clearly specified to ensure its financial autonomy. The federal system has thus dual objectives. 2 main objectives it has: to safeguard and promote unity of the country, while at the same time accommodate regional diversities. These are very important 2 points. First is to safeguard and promote unity of the country. It helps in protecting and promoting the unity of the country, ekta mein anekta mein ekta, while at the same time accommodate regional diversity. Promotes regional diversity. Therefore, 2 aspects are crucial for the institutions and practice of federalism. Governments at different levels should agree to some rules of power sharing. They should also trust that each would abide by its part of agreement. An ideal federal system has both aspects, mutual trust and agreement to live together. In a federal country, लोगों के बीच में ट्रस्ट होना चाहिए. लोगों के दोनों जितने भी लेवल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है उनके बीच में ट्रस्ट होना चाहिए. वो एग्री करने चाहिए some rules of power sharing, because rules are same for all. The exact balance of power between the central and state government varies from one federation to another. This balance depends mainly on the historical context in which the federation was formed. There are 2 kinds of routes through which federations have been formed. The first route involves independent states coming together on their own to form a bigger unit, so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity, they can increase their security. This type of coming together federations include the US, Switzerland, and Australia. In the first category of federations, all the constituent states usually have equal power and a strong vice versa the federal government. Now what happens in the coming together federations? This is a very good federation. इसमें क्या होता है? Very small different levels of government come together and form a coming together federation. All have their own value, all have their own rights. Nobody can interpret anyone. They exercise their power independently, and the one level of government can't raise questions on the another level of government. It ensures exact balance of power between the central and the state government, and this is a very important type of federation. This is very good type of federation which is in Switzerland, US, and Australia. Second type of federation, second route, is where a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. India, Spain, and Belgium are examples of this kind of holding together federations. Now, this is holding together federation. India comes under holding together federations. And what happens in this federation? Where a large country is divided into different constituent units, different states, different cities, so that different states are ruled by different level of government. In the second category, the central government tends to be more powerful, vice versa the states. Very often different constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. Some units are granted special powers. Now what happens in this type of federation? The central government pretends, the central government acts to be more powerful, vice versa the states. But in coming together federations, which we have mentioned earlier, the states and central both have equal powers. But in this states, central government tends to have more power than the states. We will start